Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is adding and subtracting integers using chips. So I'm going to represent the chips in a couple ways. Okay, so our red chips are going to be negative. Our yellow chips are going to be positive. I'm using these two colors because that's how they appear in iExcel. And as we said before, in the red usually suggests negative. So here is an example of what I would say is the easiest adding integers question you're going to come across. We have positive 2 plus positive 4. So that's positive 2 plus positive 4. If we add it all up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is positive 6. Another kind of addition question of integers you might come across is something like this. Positive 3 plus negative 2. So here you see I've illustrated the positive 3 with 3 yellow chips and the negative 2 with 2 red chips. So something we talked about at school was a zero pair. This idea that negative 1 and positive 1 cancel each other out. So if I have $1 in my pocket, but if I owe someone $1, really I have no money. I'm at 0. So we can say that 1 yellow and 1 red, 1 positive and 1 negative cancel each other out, as well as this yellow and red cancel each other out. So all we are left with is 1 yellow, which equals positive 1. If you want to think about it in terms of money, you have $3, then you have gained or you've added a debt of negative 2. So if you imagine paying off that debt, you are left with $1 positive. Another addition question we see here is negative 9 plus negative 2. We can illustrate that with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 negatives plus an additional 2 negatives. So in total, altogether, we end up with negative 11 if we count them up. Negative 9, negative 10, negative 11. When we are subtracting with integers, it becomes even more complex for us to wrap our brains around. So here we have positive 8 minus negative 2. So with money, we think about, okay, we had $8. Now we're taking away $2 of debt. So if you can think about that, if you're removing debt, you're actually gaining more money. Let's show it with chips here. So we have positive 8 chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we want to take away negative 2. The problem is there isn't any negative chips over here for us to take away. So this is where that zero pair thing comes in. So I think we agreed that a zero pair, it equals 0. So it doesn't change the value of positive 8 if I add some 0 pairs over here. So I'm going to put a 0 pair here and a 0 pair here. Essentially, these cancel themselves out. So this side is still positive 8. So now, because I've added these two 0 pairs, I actually have the negative 2 that I want to take away. So I'm just going to erase them from over here so that doesn't confuse things. But if I now remove these, oops, I want to do that in black. 2 negatives, so I'm taking away the 2 negatives, I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positive. So my answer is positive 10. So again, this idea of I had $8, I took away a debt of owing $2, so I gained $2 more. I end up with positive $10. Okay, here we have another example from my Excel. We see it is asking us to do -2 minus positive 4. So when we illustrate this with our chips, we see that we have -2. It's wanting us to take away positive 4. We don't have that. So this is where those 0 pairs come in again. So I'm going to add on to this -2 here. I say add on, that's a poor choice. I'm just going to put with it 4 0 pairs that won't change the value of -2, but it'll allow us to take away positive 4 or 4 positives. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, as per the question, it's saying I want to take away minus 4 positives. So I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase 1 positive, 2 positive, 3 positive, 4 positive. So obviously, we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negative. So I'm going to write that in, equals -6. One way to think about this is in terms of money, you owe $2 already, so you're already in debt, -2. Then you go and spend, so you're minusing from your money, an additional $4. So I owed 2, I spend 4 more dollars, I end up owing $6, or I'm -6. This is the last example I'm going to show you with minusing with integers. Please make sure to contact me via the chat or however if you have further questions. But so again, we have here, so make sure we're writing properly, yeah, -1 minus, and it doesn't have a positive in there, but I just want to indicate we are trying to take away 2 positives. So to illustrate that, we have -1 in terms of our chips, but we're wanting to take away 2 positives. So obviously there are no positives over here for us to take away. So we go again to our 0 pairs. We're wanting to take away 2 positives, so we're going to need to add on 2 0 pairs. So I'll illustrate that in here. I'm going to need 1, 2. If it's a 0 pair, it has to have the negative and the positive. So I'm going to take away now. We wanted to take away 2 positives. So I'm going to erase 1. I'm just going to get rid of these ones as well so it doesn't confuse you. So continuing, we had our -1. We added our 2 0 pairs there that don't change the value. So now I'm taking away the positives. So there's 1 positive gone, a second positive gone, and obviously we end up with -3. The way to think about this is I owed $1. Then I went out and spent, so I went down in terms of my money. I'm taking away another positive $2, so I spent 2 more dollars. I end up owing $3 or -3.